I'm Ralph Grizzle, the avid cruiser. For more than 2 decades, I've cruised the 7 seas on some of the world's most luxurious ships. I write about my experiences on avidcruiser.com. My goal is to help people like you make informed decisions about your cruise vacations. Join me today in an exciting new mini-series as I explore the most popular cruise destinations around the world. My name is Ralph Grizzle, and I am the Avid Cruiser. Monaco is a playground for the wealthy and the well-known, but it's also the staging ground for some wonderful experiences here along the French Riviera. Whether you choose to spend your day visiting the hilltop villages of Èze and Saint-Paul-de-Vence, touring the Villa Rothschild, or strolling the old town of Nice, or simply spending time here on the Rock, you're going to have a great time in Monaco. So if you're ready, let's get going. Part of the Principality of Monaco, Monte Carlo is named for the mountain on which the town stands, where the Maritime Alps meet the Mediterranean Sea. Monte Carlo is relatively small, but with a global reputation for jet setting and yachting. My first stop was to see the changing of the guard at the Prince's Palace. The palace has been the stronghold of the Grimaldi family since 1297, the year that Francois Grimaldi disguised himself as a monk and seized the palace. I made my way along narrow streets to the Oceanographic Museum, which exhibits Monaco's rich maritime history. The sea explorer Jacques Cousteau was a longtime director of the museum. After a visit to the museum, I headed through the Princess Grace Rose Garden, which boasts a few thousand rose bushes planted among the palm and olive groves. My walk through the gardens brought me to the magnificent Monaco Cathedral, the final resting place of Monaco's beloved Princess Grace Kelly, who was killed in an auto crash in 1982 at the age of 51. Monaco is a romantic kingdom where a prince once married a Hollywood star, and where you may see stars today at the Monte Carlo Casino. Brad Pitt and George Clooney were among the stars in Ocean's 12, the 2004 film shot at the casino. This is where the high rollers come to see and to be seen. I had no doubt that I was walking among some of the world's wealthiest people as I strolled around Monte Carlo. Saint-Paul-de-Vence is certainly a charming town, but it has a history too. It's one of the oldest medieval towns in the French Riviera. Now this hilltop village is filled with shops and art galleries, restaurants, winding streets, and panoramic views. It's a great place to spend an afternoon. Saint-Paul-de-Vence simply moves me. It looks as though it came out of a fairy tale, perched on a hill overlooking a beautiful valley. With my camera poised, I enjoy strolling this medieval village. Around every corner, it seems, there's a great photograph. No wonder so many writers and artists discovered Saint-Paul-de-Vence in the 1920s and never left. Some of those who settled here were the artist Marc Chagall and the American writer James Baldwin. If you're someone who enjoys art or simply sitting on a terrace admiring the views, you're going to love Saint-Paul-de-Vence. This is the narrowest street in Saint-Paul-de-Vence, and it's something you might want to try before lunch or else go sideways. The first cobblestones weren't laid on the streets here until 1950, but Saint-Paul-de-Vence has a history that stretches back much further. It became a border town in 1388, and the first ramparts were built in 1538. What I discovered while visiting Saint-Paul-de-Vence was an arts and culture hub, and one of the most charming villages in the whole of the south of France.
This beautiful villa has some pretty impressive neighbors. Elton John has a home in the hills over my right shoulder, and Tina Turner has a home in the hills over my left shoulder. This is Villa Rothschild. The gardens are spectacular with flowers blooming and singing fountains. And if you think the gardens are impressive, you should see the inside of the villa.
Villa Rothschild is situated on Cape Ferrat, a promontory that ranks as one of the most exclusive pieces of land on the Côte d'Azur. Long before the celebrities settled here, the daughter of a banker and major art collector fell in love with what was then an arid parcel of land. She saw its potential, however, and created her masterpiece. In 1907, having inherited a fortune from her recently deceased father, Beatrice de Rothschild began construction on the Villa Aphrodite de Rothschild. I walked through the villa's grand salons and admired its art and antiques. The Baroness turned her villa into a collector's paradise, adorning it with porcelains, paintings by master artists, and valuable pieces of furniture. A train actually brought her collectibles from Paris. At the platform, she would select the items she wanted for Villa Aphrodite and send the rest to her other villa in Monaco. Nice was part of the Kingdom of Savoy until 1860 when it joined France. Today, the city still retains its own Niçois dialect as well as cuisine. Think Niçois salad. I walked through the old town to enjoy the sights and sounds of this vibrant part of the city. Originally named by the ancient Greeks after Nike, the goddess of victory, Nice has been treasured and fought over ever since. It's easy to understand why. The climate is sublime, the views are inspiring, and life here in Nice is as good as it gets.
One of the places that you simply must visit when you're in Nice is the flower market. It's a visual treat for the eyes, and the smells are sensational.
You want to start in the morning at Nice's famous flower market. It closes in the afternoon. The atmosphere at this sprawling market is fun and lively, and the profusion of flowers is simply amazing. I always enjoy spending time in Nice, whether I'm visiting the flower market to absorb its fragrant smells or exploring the heart of the old town with its shops and cultural attractions. No doubt that Nice is nice.
Aix has been defended, defeated, and even devastated. But today, this medieval village on the hilltop reigns victorious, especially among tourists. Some who say it's the most beautiful village in the south of France. I can say that it has a lot of competition, and I'll let you be the judge. Come along with me and let's take a look at the medieval village of Aix.
The village of Aix goes up and up and up and up. But don't let the uphill grind put you off. Aix is an exercise in serendipity and worth every exertion. You never quite know what to expect around the next turn in Aix, but you can bet it will be something that captures your attention and captivates your imagination. I enjoy exerting myself as much as possible in Aix to see all that there is to see and to frame the icons of Aix in my viewfinder.
I hope you've enjoyed the sampling of shore excursions we've been able to show you here from Monaco. There's a whole lot more to see and experience here on the French Riviera, but for that, you'll simply have to come for yourself. I'm Ralph Grizzle, and I'll see you in the next beautiful destination.